Hello, and welcome to the DCB Variety Hour. Today, as I was strolling through the neighborhood, I paused and thought to myself, I think I'm gonna get me a new toy. And here's what we got. The Elegoo Mars 3D resin printer that all the kids are raving about. And for only $289 shipped on Amazon, and reading all the great reviews, we just had to see what all the hubbub was about for ourselves. The deep red plastic is such a pleasing color. Don't you agree? Inside the box, you'll find the nice and simple instruction book, and a toolkit containing stuff you'll need, like gloves, a power cord, a thumb drive with slicer software, and everything except the resin. The printer only weighs about 17 pounds, and with an 8-inch by 8-inch footprint and 16 inches high, this will easily fit on most desktops. The inside is nicely packed as well, with stacks of more protective squishy foam. Let's plug it in and fire it up, shall we? The next thing we need to do is remove the reservoir tray and put on the print plate. Then tighten the set screws so it lays nice and flat. They recommend placing a sheet of printer paper down on the exposure glass to give it the right starting height for the Z-axis. Now we'll raise the head up so we can put the tray back on. We were a little concerned on what would happen if this tight, clear plastic on the bottom of the tray would ever break. Hopefully they'll sell replacement parts in the future, or we'll just have to be extra careful. They provided us with a USB drive which contains a sample file to test with. We need to fill the reservoir tray about a third of the way full of resin. There is a line inside the tray for a measuring guide. It took us a little bit of time to figure out how to navigate the menu to find the sample file. But once we did, it was fairly easy to figure out how to get it to print. Don't forget to put the cover on. This keeps your ambient UV light from prematurely curing the resin.
We'll be right back.
After about 4 hours, our sample pieces were done. One of the benefits to this method of printing is that it's only the height of your object that determines the time it takes to print, as each layer is exposed all at once. Contrast that with an FDM printer that must manually lay down all the plastic line by line for each layer. These particular pieces were extremely difficult to remove from the plate, as the surface area on them was about the size of a quarter, and they really suctioned on. The printed pieces have a very gooey layer on them, so it's highly advisable that you wear gloves. You will want to clean this goo off with some 99% isopropyl alcohol. You can even fully submerge the piece in a cup of the alcohol to get all the nooks and crannies. And here's the final printout. The detail is simply amazing. Not a single print line is visible and everything is so smooth. Even the small lettering was perfectly captured. And check out the even smaller text on top. For a strength test, we did not expose this piece to UV light, and you can see that it's somewhat brittle and easy to break with very little effort. The second piece we left outside for about a half an hour. The skies were cloudy all day, yet it was still enough UV light to strengthen this to the point where we cannot easily break it using a lot of hand force. I'm sure with more time in the sun, this thing would be nearly indestructible. Also on the supplied thumb drive, they provide you with their own proprietary slicing program called Chi2Box.
How rude!
The interface was pretty straightforward, and with minimal poking around, we were able to figure it out pretty quickly. Simply import your STL file. Use the rotation tool to lay it out how you want it, and automatically center all your pieces on the print area. You can also use the automatic support settings if your piece requires it. Once you have it all laid out correctly, simply hit the slice button and follow the prompts. And here's the printout of one of our gears that we designed. Let's see how close the printout is to our file. The inner shaft is coming in at 12.2 millimeters. And our original file? 12 millimeters. The outer diameter measures 33.96 millimeters. And the file? 33.9!
Amazing!
The only issue we had was the overall height came out to 6.65 when it should have been 8 millimeters. Since all the other pieces we did came out right, it's probably an issue on our doing. We'll look into that. So our final synopsis. This is an awesome little machine. Not only for the price, but just in general. The astonishing print quality matches that of resin printers priced many times more than this one, and the details way beyond what we can do with our FDM printer. As the print size of this is only about 4 3/4 by 2.5 by 6 inches high, we'll still keep our FDM printer for larger items, as that one can do around 12 inches by 12 inches and 13 inches high. So why not try it out for yourself? We put a direct link to the Amazon page in the description below. We're so excited to have this printer in our arsenal of tools. It will help us finish some projects we've had cooking for a while now, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. And why not tell a friend? Be good and stay squeaky.